evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Thursday, January the 10th, 2013. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Chip Ramsey with a Saturday Independent newspaper. In tonight's news, Tennessee lawmakers will be limited to the number of bills they can file in this legislative session. One lawmaker is presenting legislation which would arm some Tennessee teachers in the schoolroom, and the Tullahoma School Board votes to offer a contract extension to Director of Schools, Dr. Dan Lawson. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6. Stay tuned.
Tullahoma Drug has a gift for keeping well. You know about prescriptions, but there's so much more to tell. There's a gift for all occasions, for body, soul, and mind. Cards to show you care, gifts to show your kind. There are remedies and recipes and treats, you'll want to eat them. Stacks of books from famous cooks and spectacles to read them. Shades and frames, puzzles, games, dishes, plates, and mugs. We're a Tullahoma treasure. We are Tullahoma Drug.
Has your love taken a downturn? Are you in a relationship recession? You need a bailout. Hope has arrived. You're qualified for the Romance Stimulus Package at Woodard's Diamond Showroom. We have an entire store filled with fine jewelry that will put the sparkle back in your love story. Our team of romance advisors has the surefire plan to get your passion on the road to recovery. Woodard's Diamond Showroom inside Northgate Mall of Tullahoma.
Mark, you've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Life moves fast, but on the internet, it moves at super speed. Like the awesome video that was posted last night. Today it'll be shared, then adored, then parodied, then overexposed. And by tomorrow morning, rediscovered by a whole new generation of users.
Download faster, upload faster, stream faster, and experience life at the speed of internet with high-speed Charter Internet.
Welcome back. A House committee has voted to dial back Republican Speaker Beth Harwell's proposal to limit the number of bills each lawmaker can file every year. Harwell has sought to set an annual cap of 10 bills per lawmakers, but the panel instead voted to recommend a 15-bill limit. The move would result in 485 more bills being filed than under Harwell's original proposal if approved by the full House on Friday of this week. Harwell nevertheless praised the House Rules Committee action as a step toward changing the culture in the chamber that has never before imposed limits on how many bills each member could file. The panel's vote came after several Republicans raised questions about the 10-bill limit at a caucus meeting earlier on Tuesday. Meanwhile, lobbyists are scrambling to nail down sponsors for their clients' key legislation. Mark Green, a lobbyist for the Tennessee Lobbyist Association, says that his colleagues are moving to lock up lawmakers with a reputation for successfully shepherding bills through the legislative process.
A Tennessee teachers group is asking state lawmakers to go slowly on a bevy of proposed laws that would increase gun presence in the volunteer state schools. Tennessee Education Association's website says lawmakers should not rush to take extreme action without careful study of what actually improves classroom safety. At least 4 proposed bills would allow teachers to voluntarily carry concealed weapons in schools. Some versions would provide for law enforcement training or for school staff to provide legal immunity for teachers using weapons. The TEA, the Tennessee Education Association, says that every school, including elementary schools, should have a specially trained resource officer. Many middle school and high schools across the state already feature armed resource officers.
Knoxville Senator Stacey Campbell is the sponsor of one of those bills, which would place guns in the hands of teachers. Senator Campfield spoke to TNReports.com about his proposed legislation.
Really what I'm looking at is 2 separate bills. One would say in K through 12, a school system would either have a safety officer on campus in the building, or they would allow someone who already has their handgun carry permit the freedom to, if they so chose, to go and get an additional training, the same training as a safety officer would have, and then they would be able to carry. Now that would not mandate they confront any situation. It would not mandate that they have to carry. It would just give them the freedom to, if they so chose, to carry. If not that, third option would be that schools would have to take responsibility for the children. And right now they're not. They're saying we don't necessarily have to take responsibility for their safety. That's not our responsibility. This would mandate they choose one of those three options.
Is that something have you talked to school officials in your district to kind of get a sense of what they think about any of this? Or
yeah, I've got emails I could pull up for you from principals from different areas. And it really, a lot of times it's not the big school districts that have the problems. It's the smaller school districts. The big school systems, they say, well, we've got the money, we're going to have safety officers. Some of the smaller school systems don't have the money. And they're saying, well, give us something. Don't leave us hanging out to dry, waiting for the worst case scenario. At least give us the opportunity where if we choose, we could carry and could protect ourselves.
With it, in terms of allowing teachers to carry, with the permission or with the acknowledgement, I guess, of this local school district, would you leave it then up to the locals to sort of set the district themselves to set whatever guidelines as far as how where the firearm would be, whether the person could actually have it on them or whether it needed to be stored securely in their desk or whatever? It'd
be the same as with a safety officer or a handgun carry permit. Obviously, a guy can't be waving a gun around. That's brandishing. That's a criminal act already. So it would leave it up to them. And like I said, they'd have to go through the exact same training as a safety officer does, a SRO officer, a safety officer does now. So that would already be done. I've been carrying this legislation for years and years. I've had this years ago. I've been carrying college carry on campus. I think I had K through 12 8 years ago, maybe. I can't remember. It's been a while. So this is not a new topic for me. It's just really people are starting to come around to realize that paper signs don't stop criminals. If someone is mentally snapped or has ill will in their heart, a paper sign on a door is not going to do it, unfortunately. People are now seeing that gun-free zones don't work. I mean, if you look at the history, since 1950, every single mass shooting has been in a gun-free zone, except for one. There's only been one exception to that rule. So the gun-free zones are where these criminals are going to where they know they can do the most damage.
And when we come back, we'll tell you what happened at the Tullahoma School Board meeting Tuesday night regarding a vote on a contract extension for Superintendent Dr. Dan Lawson. We'll be right back.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
It's nice to see familiar faces while enjoying great Sears low prices at your locally owned and operated Sears hometown store in Tullahoma and Shelbyville. Mike and his crew are a premier dealer where you'll find great Sears quality and availability at the lowest prices guaranteed. Featuring Craftsman tools with Sears' famous lifetime warranty, Craftsman lawn and garden equipment, 10 major appliance brands featuring Kenmore, Electrolux and Whirlpool, Sealy bedding, Kenmore and Dyson vacuums, Nordic Track and Soul Fitness equipment. And if it's not on our shelves, it's available online at Sears.com with free shipping to either location. Sears Hometown Store in Tullahoma and Shelbyville. We're right in your neighborhood.
Welcome to the Rose Bowl. The team's taking the field. Not many people. Oh, my. He missed. Off to a rough start here. Somebody wants to go home. What's he doing?
If you're not watching college football in HD, you're watching Pee Wee TV. Graduate to Charter TV in HD and let it all in.
Welcome back. The Tullahoma School Board met Tuesday night to consider offering Superintendent Dr. Dan Lawson an extension on his current contract. The meeting, which permitted public comments, was attended by approximately 100 concerned citizens, including several current and former elected city officials. Public comments were overwhelming in favor of retaining Dr. Lawson. However, those comments failed to change the mind of 3 board members who had previously voted not to retain the superintendent, who has has headed the school system for the past 16 years. The vote was 4-3 in favor of offering Dr. Lawson a new 2-year contract, with Pat Welsh, Linda Toma, Kim Usselton, and Vicki Shelton voting to retain Dr. Lawson. John Manis, Teresa Lawson, and Sharon Vance voted against the hiring of Dr. Lawson. John Gray attended that meeting and brings us these video highlights.
This is a special call meeting of the Tullahoma Board of Education. This meeting has been called by the chairman pursuant to Board Policy 141.400. The purpose of the meeting is to consider an extension of the superintendent's employment contract. This notice was published in the Tele News on December 23rd, 2012 and December 30th, 2012. This notice was posted on the school system's website, and a copy was sent to the president of the local education association. First part of the meeting is public comment.
I believe that Dr. Lawson should be retained as the director of Tullahoma City Schools. I believe that Dr. Lawson has served Tullahoma well in his position with his experience in, knowledge of, and leadership ability for the educational arena. He has proven his worth to Tullahoma City Schools, and based upon these facts, I believe he should remain.
I am the principal at West Middle School. I have been given this opportunity to speak on behalf of the principals of Tullahoma City Schools, the administrator of Tullahoma City Schools. Being in the first group, it may be difficult in some cases to be the person to present this, but in this case, we all seem to be on the same page. When we settle for good, we're not likely to be great. I appreciate all the time and effort that the school board has put and supported us in our mission in education. I appreciate giving the opportunity to represent our principals, our administrators at Tullahoma City Schools. Let's continue to move forward.
I understand my role. I have no board vote in this matter and will certainly abide by the decision of this Board of Education. But I will not apologize nor be bashful in promoting the fact that I believe Dr. Lawson should be retained in his role as Director of Education for Tullahoma City Schools. Let's put this matter behind us. Let's retain Dr. Lawson and all of us, teachers, principals, parents, business owners, community leaders, neighbors, and friends, work together for the best interest of the children of Tullahoma.
I move to extend to Dr. Dan Lawson a 2-year contract beginning July 1st, 2013, under the same terms and conditions of his current contract. Second. I support Dan Lawson in his position and hope that he will continue so. I am in opposition of tonight's vote to extend Dan Lawson's contract in light of a multitude of ethical, if not legal, concerns regarding the manner in which this process has been handled by our superintendent, administrative staff, city officials, and school board members. More specifically, Mayor Curley's blatant campaign to hijack our sovereign Board of Education and exert external pressure in an attempt to manipulate and influence our school board's unanimous decision to employ TSBA and replace Dan Lawson as Director of Schools in Tullahoma. Again, Dan either condones this behavior or is unaware of such repeated occurrences, neither of which is acceptable of our superintendent. And I want our athletic teams to have the best equipment and facilities to make certain that all of our school organizations have what they need requires leadership and planning.
What you've just heard is another side of the story that you haven't heard. And I'm going to go one step further, and I'm going to read my prepared statement. Ladies and gentlemen, we should not be here tonight. The only reason we're here is because of the efforts of a few prominent Tullahoma residents insist on representing the interests of the few. We should not be here tonight. Dan has some very excellent qualities. He has qualities and strengths, but there are also areas where we have requested improvement and have not witnessed it to an acceptable level. I urge each board member tonight to vote not to extend this contract.
Now, if I may, I would like to offer my support to retain Dan Lawson as our Director of Schools. I'm not voting on his personality. I'm not voting on whether I like him or not. I'm voting on his performance and the results. After careful consideration, the results are what I'm looking for, and I'm going to support the motion.
As we are all now aware, the purpose of this meeting is to try to correct the violation of the Sunshine Law for a closed meeting on October the 17th at City Hall. These elected officials include 3 city school board members, Kim Usselton, Vicki Shelton, Linda Thomas. The meeting invitation went out by Mayor Lane Curley, stating the meeting was to plot a strategy to keep Dan Lawson in Tullahoma. By knowingly breaking the law, these school board members did not act in a manner of distinction. These school board members should resign their positions. They broke the law. The students and teachers of Tullahoma City Schools will be better served by a new superintendent. And I will not vote to extend Dan Lawson's contract.
I support the motion. Now ready to go for the second. The motion is offer a contract to Dr. Lawson for 2 years beginning July 1st, 2013 under the current terms and conditions. Is that how you see it, Ms. Brooks? As many as in favor of the adoption of the motion will, as their names are called, answer yes. Those opposed will answer no. Ms. Brooks will call the roll, please.
Teresa Lawson.
No.
John Mass.
No.
Vicki Shelton.
Yes.
Linda Thomas.
Yes.
Kim Usselton.
Yes.
Sharon Vance.
No.
Pat Welch.
Yes. Motion carried 5-2.
And Dr. Lawson is one of 2 finalists for the Director of Schools job in Oak Ridge, so it is not clear at this time if he will actually accept the new contract. Stay with us. More Newsleader is coming up in a moment.
Serving you as a local firefighter. Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma. Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Middle Tennessee businessman and author and philanthropist Randall Baskin was in Tullahoma earlier this week. Jim spoke with him about his new book, Growing Rich.
I heard someone say you had a philosophy and it had to do with porch lights. Tell me about that.
Yeah, do what now?
It had to do with porch lights, about your work schedule. Well, you didn't quit till...
As long as there's a light, porch light, or even a light through the window I can see, you never know. It's making that last call. And I think in my book, say a living is made from 8 to 5, but getting rich is made after 5 when the world is coasting.
I have to think that you're a very spiritual person, because I know there were some times that you've had some down times in your life, but you always overcame those.
Yeah, the biggest downtime is losing a son. That's the hardest thing a parent can do, is have to bear a son or a child. But you turn to your faith in God and it'll pull you through it. And in my book, I've got an entire chapter on the joy of giving. Is probably meant more to me than anything I've ever done. This all started when I was young. When I first got in the insurance business, I ran into a situation where a child looked about 6 or 7, but she was 15 and her kidneys never developed, and her legs was all crooked, her bones were soft, and the parents told me she had probably 6 months to live. And I went home at night and I couldn't get off my mind. So next day I went back up there and I went to a 10-cent store and I bought all kinds of stuff I thought she would like. Took out there and of course she sent me a beautiful letter thanking me and all that. And that was the beginning. It made me so happy to do something to maybe brighten that family up a little bit. And from then on, I've done it. From church, one time, I'd say for probably 25, 30 years, me and my brother would, I normally 5 or 6 families that I would buy for, and the ladies at church would help buy the sizes and help me get it. But me and my brother, Christmas Eve, we spent Christmas Eve delivering turkey, hams, and all, making this family Christmas, that family Christmas. That's what we did.
How long did it take you to write this book, Randall?
It took me about 1.5 years.
And did you get some help from Sadie, your wife?
Well, she would read it and say, you need to change this a little bit. And yeah, she gave me quite a help from time to time.
Is it accurate to say that this book and your advice that you offer in this book about growing rich is based on, you've actually lived this life?
I've lived. This is basically my life, and it's my story. Growing rich is all a matter of thought and desire. It's a matter, we all become what we think about. We're sum total of our thoughts. And the secret to success is keeping your thoughts on the things you want, keeping your thoughts off of the things you don't want, because you do become what you think about.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is advice from a person who has lived it. The name of this book is Growing Rich, and you can purchase this book, I think, on Amazon for one place. Is that correct?
Well, we are going to Amazon. We haven't yet. I was going to make my round, and then I was going to go to Amazon.
So right now, where can they purchase this book?
You can purchase from growingrich.com.
Okay.
Or randallbaskin.com, either one.
Either one, growingrich.com or randallbaskin.com. All right. A very, very interesting gentleman, and I appreciate very much him coming by here and spending some time with us. More Newsleader on 6 is coming up after this commercial break. Stay with us.
The highest standard of integrity delivers stability and honor. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of integrity in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has offices in Tullahoma. And for your banking convenience, offices all across this region. At Citizens Tri-County Bank, we listen when you tell us what you want in banking. So at our beautiful new Tullahoma downtown office at 201 North Jackson Street, enjoy the kids' playroom, home-like fireplace sitting area, drive-up 24/7 ATM, ample parking, and lighted and camera-monitored drive-thrus. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
Welcome back. The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is Pumpkin. Pumpkin is a shepherd mix and is approximately 1 year old. She gets along well with other pets and dogs and children. Pumpkin has had some vaccinations and will receive a free neuter provided by the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tullahoma. Microchip identification is available to all dogs adopted for a $10 or greater donation to the shelter. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. State law also requires a $35 deposit, refundable upon proof that the adopted pet has been neutered or spayed. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
The Coffee County Humane Society's featured pet this week is Betsy. Betsy's a purebred collie with blue, black, and white markings. She seems to be good-natured and needs a good home right now. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2711 or 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at Post Office Box 252, Manchester 37349. And their website is www.coffeehumane.org. We'll be right back with your weather forecast.
Are you looking for a new car dealer that offers no games, no gimmicks, no hassles? Then look no further than Russell Barnett Kia. Keith Barnett here today with my nephew Clay to tell you about the all-new 2012 Kia Optima. Yours today for $21,995 after rebates and incentives. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. No games, no gimmicks, no hassles. My question is, tell them, Clay.
Why buy anywhere else?
This is J.D. Oliver here at the Smokehouse on Monteagle Mountain. My sisters Betsy, Nancy, and I'd like to thank you for supporting our family business for over 50 years.
Hello, this is Stella Parton, and I am standing here right in the middle of Jim Oliver's Smokehouse restaurant. But you need to come in here. We just got through doing a show. We also have a music scene going on here, and I want to invite you to come down because it is your mountain destination. Music on the Mountain in Monteagle, Tennessee.
My name's Betsy Oliver. I'm the kitchen manager here. We serve a lot of ribs and barbecue and fried chicken.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer, and I just want to let everybody know to stop in at the Smokehouse if you're ever on your way to Chattanooga or Nashville. They not only have a great gift shop, awesome food, great entertainment on Saturday nights, but beautiful cabins to stay in. Check it out.
Make the Smokehouse your mountain getaway destination. Stay in one of our 84 lodge rooms and 20 timber frame log cabins. Look around our trading posts and eat in our delicious restaurant. Enjoy music on the mountain every Saturday night featuring the best of Nashville. Our family hopes to see you this year at Jim Oliver Smokehouse.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor, too, when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1949 at 77 degrees. The record low was in 1982 at -6 degrees. The average high on this day is 47 and the average low is 28. For tonight, look for cloudy weather in your forecast with a low of around 33. Some showers expected in the morning hours of Friday with a high of 66 and a low of 60, and those showers continuing in the forecast for Saturday as well with a high of 67 and a low of 59. All right, folks, we also want to remind you that Henry Cho is going to be at the South Jackson Civic Center this Friday night, January the 11th, and his show starts at 7:30 p.m., so don't miss that. He's a really funny guy and a clean
from Knoxville.
From Knoxville, Tennessee. That is our Newsleader report this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great night.